welcome to Foreigner's Wife in the Philippines. Don't forget to subscribe. And again, thank you for listening my videos, and to those who asking some questions and ask my advice. Thank you. Yeah, so now I'm gonna tackle on the comments and message that needs my advice. And the topic that I'm going to tackle is about my foreigner is a jealous guy. So how to handle and what to do if your foreigner is a celoso, celoso. For example, you're chatting for a couple of years, for a couple of months now. He's always coming here and then go back to America or Australia or Canada or British or UK, and then he's not trusting you. You know, he's not trusting you, and every time you're chatting, you're calling, and he saw some of your neighbor passing on your house, and he's paranoid. He's paranoid that he's thinking bad against you. That relationship is no good because it's not healthy. Not trusting each other is not healthy in that relationship. Why? Because it means that there's no respect. There's no trust. No trust means no respect. Because if you don't trust that person, in other words, you don't respect him, you don't respect her. And that relationship is not healthy because it will result into a nervous breakdown. Why? Because even I saw that, I heard it from the doctor, you know. I heard it from a doctor in some of that articles. I'm reading also, okay? My husband says you should read books, but I'm reading some posts, and I learned from that, you know. And one of the articles that I read and watch in the videos is the doctor says to the woman that no matter what medications you drink, if it's in your nervous system, if it will not help. You should be the one to help yourselves, you know. And from that, because if you're, for example, your foreigner is not trusting you, you also have a stress, you know, because trusting result to stress. You've been stressing. You're stressing yourself, that will result to nervous breakdown. So as I said, if your partner is not trusting you, it's a sign that there's emotional, what do you call that? Abuse. Emotional abuse. Because sometimes in a relationship, it's not just all about physical abuse, that the foreigner is hitting you, doing that, you know, doing that to you, but also in an emotional. And the bad thing of that, if it's emotional, it's difficult, you know. It's difficult because in physical abuse, it will heal in time, you know. It will heal in a few days, few weeks. But if it's emotional abuse, it's inside, and it needs a psychology, you know. And that's very difficult parts of that relationship if it's involved emotional abuse, because that relationship is not healthy. At the same time, it's not healthy on the inside of you, at the same time to your environment, because the people in your environment, your family, also will be affected on how you behave, and at the same time they also been stressed out on how they could able to help you. And sometimes if we give advice to that person, they will not listen, because they prefer to listen to their heart. They prefer to listen to their love, you know, because love is blind, you know. But it's not that person is blind, it's just theoretical. It's not the person that is blind, but it's the love that cannot see the bad side of that person, because what they see is a good side. Even if it's very clear as the sun in the morning, that that person is no good, but because you love him, you love her, you try to cover up. You know, you try to put a good light on that he will change, you know. But as it says, if your foreigner is an abusive, if your foreigner is a jealous guy, you know, even if there's no proof or there's no proof of evidence that you're doing that, and he's still that jealous on you, then find a guy that will treat you as a woman, that will treat you as a lover, and at the same time will respect you, you know. Because no matter how much money you got from him, how much material things that he give to you, it will not cover up the pain, and it will not cover up the reality that deep inside you're rotten, you know. So material things will not cover up, you know. Material things will pass by, but happiness is the one thing that need to be spicy in the relationship, you know. Because if you marry that guy and he's a jealous guy, you will be what do you call that? You will shoulder that for the rest of your marriage, you know. And we all know that here in the Philippines there's no divorce. So even that's one thing of the characteristic of the Filipina wife, that even if it's not, even if it's time to give up, we still extend, you know. We extend our patience because we believe the marriage is sacrament that till death do us part, you know. So as I said, if before you get married to your partner, to your foreigner partner, know him more. At the same applied also to a foreigner, you know your Filipina wife, and at the same time, as I says, treat both of you. You should dance together in the relationship and respect, because that spicy in the relationship is the reasons why the relationship will last. Because if you have love to that person and you don't have respect, it will floating, it will crack the relationship. But if you respect that partner, the relationship, the love will grow. So as I said, love, and sometimes don't use the heart but use also the mind. So both of them were working together, because if the relationship is based on jealousy, no trust at all, then it will result into nervous breakdown. So as I said, don't take it seriously, my advice, because at the end of the day, pray for guidance. Have a good day and God bless.